What's going on, everybody? This is Emerald Knight Leon. We're back with another deck analysis. We're looking at Yellow Hybrid today, but not in the way you would normally think. Most Yellow Hybrid decks that I have seen are primarily going to be running Shine Greymon, since you're running a lot of Tamers in Hybrid decks. This is more of an evolution of my Angel Recovery deck, where outside of recovering, the primary goal was to increase my security's DP value to make even a level 3 more of a threat for my opponent to swing into. So starting things off, we're running 4 copies of Niaromon. Niaromon is a Digi-Egg that I really love for this kind of deck because of its inherited. On your opponent's turn, while this Digimon is suspended, all of your security Digimon get plus 1,000. This is a really good start to just slowly build up your security's DP value, and it can snowball with the right amount of cards on your field. We'll also be running 1 Pikmon. Pikmon is just really here for that good effect of when attacking. If you have 3 or more Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1,000. Since a lot of the ancients have around the same DP value, just having that minus can actually be very useful at times. Or if you're with our other level 6, you could swing in and trade if you wanted. But I feel like it does come in handy. On to our level 3s. We are running 4 copies of BT-2 Salamon. BT-2 Salamon is a very good card. It's primarily going to be sitting in the back of our breeding area until we need it because of its on-deletion effect. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, trigger recovery 1. While we are focusing on healing, there is the possibility that we're going to get there. So having Salamon just waiting in the back for us to bring it in and then just get it to delete itself so we can get that recovery is very useful. On to some of our newer cards. We're running 3 copies of Nimon. Nimon, I've mentioned in previous hybrid decks. It's a great card to have. It's on play. Will let us play a Tamer card with an inherited effect from our hand without paying its cost. So we're going to get Zoe in for free. And then also, all turns, once per turn, when one of your Digimon with a Tamer card in its Digivolution cards is deleted, you may play 1 Tamer card from your trash without paying its memory cost. So how we're working with this is we'll maybe have Zoe and Digivolve it into Kazemon, get a poke in, Kazemon's deleted maybe, and then we'll just play Zoe for free again. We'll be also running 4 copies of Bokomon. Bokomon is our searcher for the deck. With his on play, we are revealing the top 5 cards of our deck, adding 1 hybrid or 10 warriors card, and 1 Tamer card among them to our hand, and then placing the remaining cards at the bottom in any order. And then when one of our Tamers is Digivolving, we're going to gain 2 memory. I've said this before, I'll say it again. This essentially makes a lot of our level 4 hybrids free. Considering Kazemon is a 2 cost to evolve, she becomes 0 at that point. And Zephyrmon, because if you Digivolve it onto a Tamer, it becomes a 2 cost, it becomes 0 at that point. So finally, for our level 3s, we're running 3 copies of Cutemon. Cutemon is here to basically combat a lot of the other hybrids. Some of the hybrids, especially Green Hybrid, has a whole thing about lowering Digivolution costs. They won't be able to do that now. On to our level 4s, we're running 4 copies of Kazemon. Kazemon is your typical standard hybrid. She doesn't have any effects to go off of, no inheriteds. She's your standard yellow version of Aguni or Blue Lobo. We'll be running 4 copies of Zephyrmon. Zephyrmon, as mentioned, if you're Digivolving it from your hand onto one of your yellow Tamers, that Tamer is treated as a level 3 Digimon, and the memory cost for evolution is 2. If you are going to Digivolve it off of your, say, Kazemon, or our other level 4, it'll be a 1 cost. And if it's from a level 3, it'll be a 3 cost. Finally, we'll be running 3 copies of Bulkmon. Bulkmon is here for essentially the same purpose of poking into your opponent's security. With his effect, you're going to have 3 or more security cards. You're going to gain an extra security check. He's not going to live long, probably, but it's still very useful. And his play cost being only 5 means you can hard play him if you want to. Moving on to our level 5s, we're running 4 copies of Jet Sylphimon. Jet Sylphimon is the staple for yellow hybrid decks. When one of your Digimon with a Tamer card and its Digivolution cards digivolves into this card from your hand, reduce the memory cost of Digivolution by 2. And when Digivolving, if a card with hybrid in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, recover 1. So this is very useful. That's why we're running 4 copies of it, so we can keep getting off the recovery when needed. But that's not our only way of recovering. And that's our next level 5. 3 copies of Angelomon from the starter deck 3. She's been a staple in yellow decks, and I hope she'll continue to. So when Digivolving, if you have 3 security cards or less, trigger recovery 1. And that's pretty much it for her. On to our level 6s. We'll be running 3 copies of Sarafimon. Sarafimon, I've mentioned before, his Digivolution effect is you're recovering 1. And then on your opponent's turn, while this Digimon is suspended, all of your security Digimon get plus 5,000 DP. Again, combine that with Niaro, that's 6,000. And it's going to get even better when we bring in our other level 6, Ancient Kazemon. I love Ancient Kazemon's design, and her effect I really love. While a card with hybrid in its traits is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, all of your security Digimon get plus 4,000 DP. This is a really good card to have in combo with Sarafimon. It basically forces your opponent to have to either swing into your security and just hope that they're running into either a Tamer or a option card, or they're just going to lose their Digimons more often than not unless they have jamming. Outside of that, she has the on deletion. You can play a level 4 or lower card with hybrid in its traits from your hand without paying its cost. On to our Tamers. We are running 2 copies of TK from the starter deck. He is a card that's going to further make our security more dangerous. All of your security Digimon get plus 2,000 TP, so we're going to get 4,000 at most off of this. With Kazemon, that'll be 8,000. 13,000 with Sarafi, and then 14 because of Niaro. And that's if you have one of each of those plus both TKs. At this point, there is who knows how much DP you can get off of this. We'll also be running 2 copies of BT-1's TK. He is our memory setter, and he's also a way for us to recover by looking at our security stack and revealing 1 card from it and adding it to our hand. And if that card is yellow, we recover 1. Finally, of our Tamers, we are running 4 copies of Zoe. Zoe is our staple here. Her inherited is all of your security Digimon get plus 3,000. So, again, our security is becoming more dangerous. The only thing that can really stop this is jamming at that point. She also has the on-play of you may search your security stack for 1 card with hybrid or 10 warriors in its traits, reveal it, add it to your hand, and then if you added a card to your hand, recover 1, and then shuffle your security stack. I am very excited for Zoe. I feel that her inherited is just going to make this deck really good. On to finally our options. We're running 1 copy of Reinforcing Memory Boost. It's been limited. It's at 1 card now we can only have in our deck for this. People were abusing the hell out of this by just constantly stacking up this security because it essentially is a deck searcher as well as a recovery card. And then Finally, we're running 2 copies of Holy Wave. Holy Wave is just here to further recover our security. His security effect just lets us activate it, making the attack almost seem like nothing. So that is the deck. Onto different cards we might want to tech in, maybe. This is really up to you. Starting it off, we have Renamon. Renamon here is here for on play of one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. I don't see a lot of use for her, but if someone's able to make it work, that's great. Moving on, we have a card that's similar to her, Tinkermon. Tinkermon is here for her on deletion, which does the exact same thing as Renamon. We also have Pulsman. Pulsman is a good card to have if you're able to get it. If you have 3 or more security cards, trigger draw 1. If you have 3 or fewer, gain 1 memory. If you have 3, you're going to get both of its effects going off at the same time. On our level 4s, we could have Unimon and Pedomon. Both of them are blockers. Both have the same caveat of losing 2 memory. Preferably, I would much rather go with Unimon because of its 5 cost and 6,000 DP, so it's easier to hard play. Level 5 wise, we have Magna Angemon and Angelmon. Magna Angemon is really there for the hard play of recovering 1, and then Angelmon is for her Digivolution of basically giving one of your opponent's security attack -2. On our level 6s, we have the 2 promos that are coming out for Sarafimon and Ophanimon. Sarafimon is interesting. If you have a tamer in play, you recover 1, and then on deletion, recover 1. I might be interested in making a deck trying to run this, because just having Sarafimon just going into him, recovering, and then swinging into your opponent expecting to die just so you can recover sounds like a weird strategy that I would be interested in making. Ophanimon, on the other end, is definitely more in line with what this deck could go with. When Digivolving, if you have a tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets -5,000 DP for the turn. That's enough to kill off any regular hybrid that's not a beast spirit. And when attacking one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get -2,000 DP for the turn. And then finally, we have Sukuyamon. Sukuyamon is a really good card. I don't see her really working very well in this meta because your opponent's primarily going to be Digivolving off of their tamers to go into their ancients, or if you're running red or blue, Magna Guru or Kaiser Greymon. Her second effect, though, is very good because it reduces your opponent's security Digimon's DP by 3,000. Tamer-wise, you could run the TK and Kari if you wanted, if you don't have access to the starter deck TK. And otherwise, for options, we have Spiral Masquerade, which is good for board clearing if you have a large board. Blinding Ray if you want to gain memory more. Wyvern's Breath, which is basically just Gaia Force or Iron Fist Onslaught for yellow. Yellow Memory Boost, which could work as your searching. And one new card is Ultra Turbulence. So one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get -3,000 DP for the turn. It's a 2 cost to play, so if you are able to rack up a lot of memory, you could maybe play 2 of these and just start swinging into your opponent's security. So that is it for this analysis. This is definitely the version of Yellow Hybrid that I plan on playing, as I don't have enough Shine Greymons. But it's definitely a version that I'm very interested in seeing if I can make it work. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment below, like the video, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.